किताबें बहुत सी पढ़ी होगी तुमने मगर कोई इनसाइड बार तुमने पढ़ा है मेरी जान नजर से पढ़ा है बता इस सेटअप में ही क्या क्या लिखा है. You might have come across such advertisements on various social media platforms. Please note, all of these are fraudsters promising unbelievable returns through stock tips. I don't provide any calls or advisory services. I provide only educational content through my social media handles and through my website rachanaranade.com and rachanaranade.in. Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very informative video which is about an inside bar. I sang after ages in any of our pre-bumper of the video and I'm sure you might be like, why is Rachana singing the male part and female part of the song? But when I asked one of my team member to sing the song, he was traumatized and he said, ma'am, if I sing the song, everyone will stop watching the video right away. So it's better that you sing both the sides by yourself. And that is why the same song sung by me, both male side, female side. Okay. Now, let's get back to our discussion about inside bar. So, we have to first understand that whenever we talk about inside bar, generally people confuse it with an outside bar also. Okay. So, first, let's understand which are the types. So, if you have a look at this is a classic example of an inside bar. But if you have a look at this is a classic example of an outside bar. Okay. Now, first, let's quickly understand outside bar because if you have been watching my channel, I have mentioned something like an engulfing pattern. Okay, whenever I say bullish engulfing, this is the first one. This is an example of a bullish engulfing candle. Okay, this is more powerful if it comes at the end of a downtrend. So, what happens typically? You will see a downtrend. At the end of the downtrend, you will see this bullish engulfing candle. So, it's a pair candle pattern. Okay, so the second candle engulfs the entire previous candle, or we say this is an outside bar. Okay, if we see this is kind of a reversal pattern, and from here, ideally, the stock should go up. But if you have a look at this candle, this is called as a bearish engulfing candle. And this typically comes at the end of an uptrend. I mean, if it comes at the end of an uptrend, then I will say that it is more powerful. Okay. Why? If it's an uptrend, at the end of the uptrend, if you see this pair candle where the second candle has engulfed the previous candle, the second candle is a big red candle. In that case, it signifies that the bears have taken over. And from here, ideally, the downtrend should start. So I hope outside bar is absolutely clear so that you know, okay, this is outside bar. We don't have to focus at this. Now you'll understand what is an inside bar. Okay, now let's go to inside bars. Now first, if you have a look at this is an example of a inside bar. Many people might have read about this or heard about this as a bullish harami candle as well. The previous candle, so again, this is a pair candle. Okay, harami, by the way, in Japanese means a pregnant lady. Okay, so the previous big candle is called as a mother candle and the inside bar is called as the baby candle. Okay, so this is called as an inside bar. Even if you have a look at this is also an example of an inside bar. Both you can see side by side now, both are examples of inside bars only. Now, what is important? How will I understand whether this inside bar is a bullish pattern or is it a bearish pattern? Is it a reversal pattern? Is it a continuation pattern? All these points are going to be discussed in the immediate next section of the video. Before we move on, wanted to tell you something really interesting about our Invest in India community. There are two amazing events which are lined up for this month itself, and one of them starts tomorrow. That is the Pro Researcher Challenge. Now, many people, I'm sure, are excited about this challenge, but till date, I have not exactly told that what is going to happen in this challenge. I'm sure those who have joined my Pro Investor membership or those who are already a part of the Invest in India community, they know that I do a detailed analysis of one stock every month. Many people have asked me that, Rachna, you present your own studies, but how will we understand as to what are the different base documents through which you gather that information? So, in the Pro Researcher Challenge, what I have done is that I have split up my study or analysis into 10 different tasks. So, what you will be required to do is you will have to complete one task per day and submit your findings. Just as an example, if I give you a task about what does the company do, I'm just going to tell you to download the annual report, read page numbers, let us say, as an example, 180 to 182, read these 3 pages, write your 2 to 3 findings, and then submit it. So that is how you will get to know from where do I collect this information while I present the stock of the month. So this is going to take you from a pro investor to a pro researcher. Now, this is about the challenge which is coming up. One more super interesting session which is going to come up on the next Saturday, that is the 20th of July, is a conversation with CA Ashish Baheti. He is a chartered accountant and he comes up on CNBC Awaz. He is going to talk about few favorite stocks, his favorite stocks for budget 2024. So there are many more perks which are lined up for the Invest in India community. So if you still have any doubts, please feel free to drop a WhatsApp message at this number, or maybe just drop an email on the addresses which are mentioned here. Now let me go into my teaching zone so that I can tell you more on Inside Bar, some real interesting discussion coming up. So 100% attention for the next 3 to 4 minutes. Ready? Let's start. Now if you have a look at this, assume that we are in a downtrend, okay? And at the end of this downtrend, you can see a pear candle. Which is this pear candle? One, you can see this big red candle, okay, which has a good body, and the wick is something like this, okay. Then it is followed by one more green candle. I've already drawn this, a green candle, which is within the previous red candle. I hope you have very clearly understood why is it called as an inside bar, because the second candle is completely inside the previous mother candle. Simple till here? Okay. Now what do we have to do is that as a next step, we have to ideally draw a line which touches the wick of the mother candle. So one, assume this is the proper horizontal line. Okay, one and two. So this is my range of the inside bar now. Okay. Now what do I have to check out? What do I have to track now? I have to track that the next bars, next candles, which side of the bar are they breaking through. Okay, so let us take a simple example. Assume that the next candle is formed here. Okay, the next candle is formed something like this. Okay, now what does this signify? This signifies that the range of the inside bar has been broken now, and broken on a downward side, and in this case this will be called as a continuation pattern. Why? Earlier it was in a downward trend, it went in a kind of a sideways trend, but again it broke below the inside bar range, and that is the reason why ideally it will go down, and that is why it will be treated as a continuation pattern. I hope this point is clear. What could be case number 2? So for case number 2, I'll just rub this last part of the story. Okay, we are till here. Now what happens? Next candle, let us say, is formed here, and the next candle is formed here. Okay, now what has happened? This candle has broken outside the inside bar ka range. Which side has it broken? It has broken the upper side now. Okay. Now what does this mean? Ideally, from here, the journey should go upward. Now this will be termed as a reversal pattern. I hope this is clear. So what is the most important key takeaway here? Number one is that this inside bar overall setup is neither a reversal pattern nor a continuation pattern in itself. You have to check which side does it break through. If it breaks through the normal pattern, so originally let's say the stock was in a downward trend and it broke in the on the downward side only, the situation 1 that we had described, it will be treated as a continuation pattern, and situation 2 we had said that it broke on the upper side and then it will be treated as a reversal pattern. I hope this is very clear. One quick point here to be understood is that whenever we are understanding this, so this was like a reversal pattern that we discussed, right? What is important? The body of the candle is closing above the range. So just as an example, had this been the scenario, so I'm drawing this candle again. Okay, no, wait. If I'm drawing this candle again, and let us say this happens. So it went up, but ultimately it has closed inside the range only. Still, this is not a breakout. Still, it's a wait and watch category. Okay. So what is important? Important is that closing has to be above the range. Now you have 2-3 more questions in your mind. If this be so, ideally, what should be my entry point? What should be my target point? What should be target price? What should be my stop loss? All these things we are going to cover in the next section of the video. All right, let's continue with this example. What had we discussed? That there was a downtrend, right? At the end of the downtrend, we saw a pair, right? One big bullish candle and one big bearish candle, one red candle, and then followed by an inside bar. I'll just redraw this small inside bar, okay, so that it is more clear. Assume it's a small inside bar, okay, and small wick. All right. Okay, now what happens is that this was the third candle inside the range itself. This was the fourth candle again inside the range. Now what has happened? The fifth candle has broken outside the range. Okay. So ideally, it is said that now that this candle has closed outside the range, ideally you should take a trade here. So this will be the entry point. Now you'll be like, acha, when we understand that this is the close, is that the point? So ideally you should be taking such a trade based on inside bar like 1 or 2 minutes prior to closing. Okay, so maybe somewhere around 328, 329, because that is where we know that okay, this candle is going, daily candle is going to close outside the inside bar range ke upar. Okay, it will close when, once I'm sure about that, this is ideally the entry point. Okay, what is the target to be set now? Target is that you have to understand what is this distance, what is this range. Assume this range is 100 points. Okay, if this range is 100 points, then ideally my target will be same 100 points from here. This is the minimum target. I'll show you some examples that if the inside bar is, I mean, if that goes as a valid one, we have seen 2x 3x also being reached here. So what does that mean? Ideal target price will be 100 points up, but there have been cases where we see 200 points, 300 points of rally also. Okay, but ideal is 100. What will be the stop loss? Stop loss is the low price of the baby candle. Okay, so this will be the stop loss. Okay, there are some conservative people who also treat the low point of the mother candle as a stop loss. This is option number 2. Okay, but in this case, the risk reward becomes 1:1. Okay, so for those who say, "Arey, this is 1:1, ela kya arth hai? This is not fair." No one has made you a compulsion that you have to trade an inside bar. If you don't like it, don't use it. Simple. Okay, but like I mentioned, there have been cases where we find 2x 3x reward also. So if you feel that yes, I'm able to trade an inside bar with conviction, well, very well, you can go ahead and trade. Okay, I hope upside is clear. Now downside though, you should be able to guide me now. Fadafat say, okay, well, let's try and do it on a downward side now. So let's say that there was a breakdown. Okay, so what happened here? Let's say this was a breakdown here as an example number 2, right? So ideally, tell me entry. So this will be like a short sell. Okay, so here we'll have an entry. Okay, what is the ideal target? Same, assume this is 100 points. So 100 points from here will be my entry, will be my target. Okay, now you can imagine that this itself, if it is a big one, makes no sense entering. So ideally it should be pretty much close here, right? So let's say it's something like this. Okay, so this will be the point for entry. Okay, where will be my stop loss? Ideally my stop loss should be here. This should be my level of stop loss. If you're a conservative trader, this should be my stop loss. Okay, and as I said, 1x is a bare minimum target. It could be 2x 3x also. So I hope theory absolutely clear. Now I'll take you to some practical examples from TradingView in the next section of the video. Now I'm going to give you 3 examples, one of a weekly candle, 2 of daily candles. Always remember that this strategy, inside bar strategy, works better with a higher time frame. So don't try to put this for like 5-minute candle and 1-minute candle and all that. Okay, higher the time frame, better it is. So right now you can see here, this is Reliance Industries ka chart. It was an up move, and here we did see an inside bar. I've also drawn the upper end and the lower end. We did see 1 2 3 4 4 candles within the range, and at the 5th candle it broke down. Okay, and this was, how much is the height? This is almost 130 points, right? And this candle, immediate next candle, has already given a breakdown of almost 100 plus points. Okay, so this shows that how the inside bar candle, the pattern that we studied right now, there was a breakdown and immediate follow through. Now this is an example of Reliance Industries weekly pattern, but let's take an example of HCL, which is a daily pattern. Again, did we see an up move, uptrend almost? Yes. After that we could see here this one, this green candle, this is an inside bar. Okay, now once we saw a breakdown here, this is a 73 points ka range, right? Broken down, 73 points gone, another 73 points gone, another 73 points gone. We stopped calculating after that, but yes, we are seeing some sort of reversal here in HCL Tech, right? I've just taken quick screenshot so that I can move fastly with the examples, right? Now here you can see that yes, this was also like a down move, at the end of which we did see a big red candle followed by multiple inside bars, 1 2 3 4 5, almost 6 7 almost, because here also the closing is inside the range. Closing has to be outside. These wicks will not matter. Once it closed above it, yes, now this was almost a 13 points move, but 13 points with a stock price of almost what, 100 and what, 130 roughly. Okay, so this is like almost a 10 percentage move. So here if you see a breakout given, 1x, 2x, 3x, and still going, we are not sure. So here we'll have to see one more breakthrough. So I hope you have understood this. Does this mean that all inside bars are going to be like a success story? Answer is obviously not. I've given you examples of success stories. There are going to be failures as well, where the the candle will go up, will go outside the range. It will show a promising trend, then it will come down. It will also hit the stop loss. So it will never happen that 100% of the inside bar are going to act in a correct way. You will also see certain failures. Now let's understand where can this pattern be considered as invalid. Okay, now let's understand there was a downtrend. Now what happens is that there is a candle below this range. So there is a breakdown, or I can say it opened as a gap down. Gap down where below the range it opened as a gap down. So somewhere here, let us say it opened, but ultimately it closed something like this. Okay, so still is it below the range? Yes, but it's a green candle. In this case we'll say it is invalid. If it is a, if it has broken down the range, it has to show a bearish continuation pattern. That is why this has to be red. If it is green, it is invalid. Okay, I hope this is clear. What could be case number 2? Case number 2 is that, let us say after this we get this candle, da, 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 da. Here this is the second one. Okay, now the third one, so it is inside, by the way. Now what happens is that now there is a break on the upside, but it closes. So here it is, here we get a good opening above, but the closing is in big red. Okay, see, ideally this should have been a reversal pattern, this should have been a bullish reversal pattern, but then you have a big red candle outside the range. Still this will not be considered as valid. Okay, I hope this point is also clear. Now let's change the mother candle only. Okay, now assume that the mother candle is something like this. Wow, wow, wow. This is almost a no bodied candle. If I'm considering a mother candle, it has to have a good body. Okay, a strong body. This will be valid. Okay, but if I'm considering something like this is again an invalid pattern. It has to have a good body. Okay, I hope all points about when will the chart pattern be considered as invalid is also understood. Well, I hope you enjoyed this new terminology about inside bar. If you did like it, don't forget to smash the like button. Till date, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. If you did love this video, also share it with your friends. I hope you enjoyed this one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.